What happened to us? We once were tied for top of the GPC back in the golden days. Now, look at us. Taking away one of our wins and replacing it with a loss. 1-3. That's not what I promised you all. I promised we would suck to the best of our abilities, but I know we can do better. Alright? I promised to never be worse than I actually was, but I've been worse than I actually am. I know we can handle the people in this league. We're going up against Ace Trainer Josh this week. He's 3-1. He's counter our record. He's a very good player. He's had some wins against some people in the GPC, obviously. But I'll tell you one thing. I'm not willing to give up. Alright? I'm not. Alright, we're gonna win. And we're gonna... or we're not gonna lose by 3-0. Alright? Promises. I'm making promises. Alright? I think we can get back to those golden years where our win ratio was 0. Or at least 500. I know we can do it. So I have one question for you all. What's going on, you GPC people? This is Jar. Now, I know I said I wasn't going to be doing team builders anymore, but I mean, basically what's going to happen is if I have time, I'm going to do a team builder, and I have time this week, and we're going up against your boy, Ace Trainer Josh. Now, let me give you a little background into this game, alright? We are 1-3, Ace Trainer Josh is 3-1. I'm sorry, I have to take a little break at the moment. And we're back. We're taking a look at Josh's team. Josh is the Texas Turtwigs. As you can see, Josh chose to go the lesser Pokemon route. He spent a lot of points with his first 5 picks, getting absolute power and monsters. Now, Josh's team is extremely threatening to ours. He has Manaphy, Togekiss, Mega Scizor, Arcanine, Latias. And by his team is very threatening to ours. I mean, we're gonna shit on it anyway. We have a good matchup this week, in my opinion. Look at that team. Look at that team. Nothing is not 2-hit KO'd by Greninja that is not a Spadef Manaphy. Ice Beam can 2-hit KO Togekiss. Scald can 2-hit KO Arcanine. We have the... Well, we'll get into the set later. But he has the Manaphy, which is an extreme threat to us, as any team it would be. Togekiss, which I'm not too worried about. We have some Togekiss answers. Not too worried about Mega Scizor either. Arcanine could be an issue, but I have a plan. Latias could also be an issue, but I have some very, very sneaky plans for Latias. He also has the Piloswine, the Virizion, the Manectric, and the Gigalith, alright? He's got some lower tier mons that he only has to bring a few times a week to ensure that he has versatility in his draft. If you don't know our team by now, fuck you. Back to the team builder. Hello, alright? Third transition I've had to make. I'm getting really tired of this shit, and I know I have to make at least one more. Alright, let's get into the team we are bringing against Josh. So, now, I am bringing a max speed, max special attack Zapdos. 1 second, my dog is now at the fucking door. Anyway, max speed, max special attack Zapdos. Why, Jar, are you bringing a max speed, max special attacking Zapdos? Because Manaphy. Alright, Manaphy is an extreme threat to our team. Alright, if he gets a tail glow up, he could be putting in an absolute amount of work. Zapdos is the only thing on my team that can ensure I KO a Manaphy afterwards. I'm willing to risk the speed tie, you know why? Because we've lost games by trying to go for skill, so we're going for luck, alright? We're going pure luck on this game, alright? So, now you're saying, Jar, you have a U-turn on your Zapdos, why? Because you fucking idiots, he has a Manectric and a Piloswine. I need to keep momentum. I need to get into the wall breakers I'm bringing for this week. So, Zapdos is rocking U-turn to ensure I do that. Alright, Heat Wave for Scizor, Roost to keep up health. I originally wanted to run Air Cutter to fuck up that Virizion, but I figured, you know what, he's going to outspeed me and do a lot with Stone Edge, or if he's special, he probably won't be special because he can't touch Zapdos, but he's probably going to outspeed me and do a lot, so I'll just run Heat Wave and get the damage off I can. Plus, you can't run Static if you run Air Cutter, and I wanted the reliable recovery in Roost, alright? You fucking bitch, you happy? Next up, I'm guaranteeing this will be the MVP of the week, alright? Greninja. This thing puts in absolute work. Like I said, anything that's not Spadef Manaphy, this motherfucker can 2-hit KO, alright? He wants to bring in Togekiss, Ice Beam that shit. Dark Pulse, General coverage. Scizor, HP Fire that bitch. Scald, you know, Scald's no drawback. We can click Scald for no reason other than the fact that we want to fucking click Scald, alright? It's just the best middle ground play. Now, EV spreads. His fastest Pokemon is Latias. That thing hits 350 speed as a base 110. I can't hit 351 with my IVs for HP Fire, so we're going 352. Math, motherfuckers. Anyway, next one. Bronzong. Jar, why are you bringing Bronzong? This thing has been absolute shit the entire season. Yeah, maybe. Anyway, we need rocks this game. Now, I know I could bring Hippowdon with rocks, but Manaphy is such a threat, alright? He could lead with Manaphy on my Hippowdon lead, and I couldn't do anything. At least here I can Toxic the Manaphy without getting O-code like Hippowdon would. We're rocking these Stealth Rocks to get them up. Probably my lead, alright? Gyro Ball to break potential Latias' sub. Toxic for Manaphy and Togekiss potentially, and HP Fire so Mega Scizor can't beat us 1v1. We do a lot of damage to Mega Scizor, like a clean 30% to a Spadef Mega Scizor. That's solid damage if I do say so myself. Especially when we have many things that can take a Bullet Punch in the back and outspeed it, so I'm not even sure he will bring an SD Scizor. Now, the spread looks kind of dumb, right? It is, alright? Gyro Ball is just to make sure we're hitting Latias as hard as we possibly can. Latias is a giant threat. And this is my only Latias switch-in, alright? So I have to run that. Defensively, I'm putting all that defensive investment in there just to make sure I can take on a physical Virizion better and a Mega Scizor better. The Spadef nature is just to ensure I cannot be 3-hit KO, I cannot be 4-hit KO'd by a Latias's T-Bolt and or Ice Beam. Did you see that run through? I deserve a fucking award for that. That was the fastest run through ever. Also, Heat Proof. We're bringing Heat Proof this week because his main coverage to hit Bronzong is Fire. You got Manectric, Flamethrower, Togekiss, Flamethrower, frickin' Arcanine could try and come in. I could Toxic that motherfucker. Arcanine's kind of a bitch for my team. Alright? That's why we're running Heat Proof. His only Earthquaking mod is Gigalith. Alright? It's not even stab. It will do 0. Alright? Alright, who's next? Oh yes, Infernape. Mr. Burnham is back. Alright? He's bringing a Choice Band this week. And guess who fucked up the EVs? That's right. This guy. Yep. I was trying to be max speed, max attack, jolly to speed tie a Virizion. But you know what, guys? Like I said, we're not going off of skill anymore. We're going off of luck. We're gonna hope Josh does never go for that speed tie, because we're that good, alright? So, that was meant to be the set. This was meant to be the set, but because I'm so good, I just realized you can't see the spread, the bottom stat. I meant to do that, alright? I didn't want you guys knowing my speed stats, you know? It's not fair to me. Alright, but anyway, Infernape is rocking 340, was supposed to be rocking 346, but because we're that good, we are instead rocking 330, which outspeeds Manaphy, which is fucking hilarious, because I was trying to speed keep Virizion. It doesn't even speed creep Manaphy. Manaphy's 328, fuck. Alright, anyway. If you want to see the speed stats, here they are, because I totally didn't mean to do that. Anyway, after that thing I meant to do, oh, I probably should cover his moveset. Alright. Flare Blitz, Fire Punch, Close Combat, and U-Turn. Now, Infernape is my win con this week. He has very few switch-ins with Rocks Up. I can 2-hit KO Arcanine with Rocks Up. So, Close Combat is probably the move most spammable. Flare Blitz in case I need to hit something harder that resists Close Combat, say a fucking Togekiss. However, we are rocking Fire Punch just in case his fire resists are worn down and we just need to start spamming that move. We're also rocking the U-turn to gain momentum and get into our boy at the very end there, Mr. Yeezy 2.0. But yeah, pretty standard Infernape this week. Iron Fist to boost the Fire Punch and the Close Combat. Actually, for one of the people that are smarter than me in the comments, write if Iron Fist boosts Close Combat, because I don't know. Next up, we're bringing my favorite set of the week, Hippowdon, alright? This is right, we're bringing offensive Hippowdon. It's about time. This motherfucker is our kill leader. We better start treating him like the offensive threat that he is, alright? He's rocking 200 HP, max attack, adamant, with 4 speed F and 52 speed just to make sure we don't get speed crept, alright? You say, Jar, well, that's a stupid set. I say, fuck you, he's the kill leader. Where's Esquire Greninja been this entire fucking season? That's right, that's what I thought. Hippowdon, you're the wall breaker this week. EQ for stab. It 2-hit KOs Manaphy. Alright, it 2-hit KOs on Manaphy. Suck it. Ice Fang for Latias and a few other things. I probably could have ran Crunch, but fuck you. I wanted to hit Virizion in case Virizion and or Latias tried to switch in on me because they're both pretty good switch-ins. Fire Fang for Scizor. Guess what? We fucking 2-hit KO that Scizor to fucking back. He's going down. We might Oko him. I don't know. We're rocking superpower for that motherfucking Pylo swine. Because that thing, if it wants to come into my, it's gonna get blown the fuck back, alright? Because Hippo does not give a shit. He is our kill leader. He is the captain. Dubbing him the new captain. Fuck you, Blackstar. Fuck you, Greninja. Hippowdon, you're the captain now, alright? Exploud, alright? I wanted to run Specs. I can't. He has a Scizor, and he has a Gigalith, alright? Now you're saying, Jar, why didn't you run Surf? Well, I fucking forgot. It got Surf, so fuck you. I'm rocking Boom Burst, Fire Blast. I don't need those any of the other moves besides maybe Focus Blast. I'm running Silk Scarf to make sure I can change up my moves. I'm speed creeping a Scizor can outspeed more no matter what, so I'm speed creeping a no speed investment Togekiss with this spread. So that's what we're going for. The rest was thrown into HP, but we're going modest Silk Scarf. We're gonna fire off some deadly Boom Burst. You got me? Alright, that's the team. If you want to see the battle, go fuck yourself. It's not going to be in this video. It might. Wait 10 seconds, find out. I'll see you in the battle, maybe. Here we are at the battle. I know what some of you are thinking. Jar, you're on the wrong side. Why are you such a terrible battler? Anyway, let's get right into the battle. You see the team he brought? No Manaphy. That is absolutely huge. We don't have to bank on luck anymore, but that means we have to bank on skill, so we're fucked. Anyway, he did bring a Virizion. I'm expecting physical because Special would get absolutely walled by Zapdos, even a physically defensive variant. I'm not thinking it's going to be SD Scizor. Like I said, we have a ton of things that can take Bullet Punch and Oko Scizor back. Manectric could be an issue. I'm assuming it's Scarf variant to outspeed a Greninja, looking at his team from the very beginning. So I'm going to start making some plays around that. Latias, not too worried about that. I have my checks. Gigalith could be an issue. I'm predicting that as his lead, and Arcanine is there to obviously wall Infernape. It's his only Infernape check. Look at his team. Everything else is going to get blown back by Infernape. Nothing wants to take Bandit close combat. Latias does not want to take a Bandit U-turn. So, you know what? I have my plan. I've checked it twice. I'm going to lead with my Bronzong. I'm going to pause. I'm going to switch sides. Ooh, you didn't see that fucking coming. He leads off with King Scizor. I'm going to lead off with Bronzong. Alright. Pause. Alright. He could SD here, and I could be in some trouble early game. I could lose my Latias switching. So my thought process is he's not going to SD. I have a Zapdos I could switch in very easily. I'm going to get my rocks up as he's probably going to U-turn. He U-turns. Oh my god, we're 1-0 on predictions. Here we go. Alright, we're getting those rocks up like good players do. The best players always go for rocks. Now, here he brings in his Arcanine. I'm like, okay, remember when I packed the switch into Arcanine? Yeah, me neither. Hippowdon it is. Alright, he's going to throw off a Toxic, which kind of sucks. Alright, we could have taken a Flare Blitz really easily. Now, I'm predicting here there's no way he wants to stay and he can't Willow me. He's going to Latias. I have to go for an Ice Fang to do the maximum amount of damage. He goes Latias. I go for Ice Fang. 54% plus Sand to negate any potential leftovers that he doesn't even have. He's gonna Roost. I'm like, you know what? No, fuck you. You're not getting rid of these rocks again after I kill you. I'm taking this thing down with me. Hippowdon, the captain, pulling Latias down with him. That a boy Hippowdon. That's captain material right there. That's something that he's sacrificing himself for the team. Alright? That's captaincy material. Here, he's gonna die to the next one. So what's he gonna do? Well, Josh isn't a fucking idiot. He's gonna defog. He doesn't want those rocks. I'm like, oh, it's okay. Bronzong's still in really good health. I could come in on the Scizor. I could outspeed the Gigalith potentially even. So I'm fine. I can come in on Scizor or Gigalith. I can get these rocks away. He goes Scizor. I'm like, alright, this is my opportunity. I'm gonna go Zapdos. I'm gonna start putting some work in with offensive Zapdos. He U-turns out. I get the static, because we only play for luck on this channel. If you think we're skillful, get the fuck out. Goes Gigalith. I wish I had Volt Switch now, but I'm gonna bank on the U-turn. I'm gonna U-turn out, go into my Bronzong, because there's no way he's gonna click EQ. He's gonna click Stone Edge. Oh, he clicked EQ. Alright, well played, Josh. You're better than I am. Okay? I'm gonna get my rocks up. No, I'm gonna HP Fire because I misclick. I mean, I was trying to predict the Scizor, because it was extremely obvious Scizor switch in when he could just stay and take any hit extremely well and Oko me, so Scizor was the obvious play. So that was my play. Getting rocks up, you could say, was the best play, and I would say, yeah. Anyway, he Earthquakes, Bronzong goes down for nothing. Great start. Alright, let's bring in the threat. Let's bring in our Bandit Infernape. If we had rocks up, we'd 2-hit KO this Arcanine that's about to come in, but, you know, we're good at the game, so we don't need rocks. We're going to close combat 40%. Josh told me he was confused a little bit because he didn't know how it could do so much. He calced in an extra Intimidate rather than just letting Showdown do it for him. So I go Greninja. I know I can take any hit relatively well. I use Greninja's typing to my advantage. He Flare Blitzes, I tank those. Alright, here, I'm Fire Up Scald. You know why? Because Scald's no drawback. He goes Scizor, Scald. Boom. I calc that damage. That's a pretty Spadef Scizor. But you know what Spadef Scizor can't take? HP Fire from Protean Greninja. Blah, 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 blah. The dick. Anyway, So Greninja's in time. You can hear it's a fire type. He goes into his Manectric. I want to save Greninja. It puts in a lot of work still. Let's go Hippo, because I think he's scarfed. I think he's gonna click an electric type move. He does. That means even after Toxic, I can take one more hit. Now I could EQ on his Manectric, but you know what? I'm too good for that. We're clicking Fire Fang, predicting the Virizion to come in, and it absolutely does. And we knock that thing all the way the fuck back. Hippowdon, that's captaincy material. You're staying as our captain for now. Alright, let's go back into the threat. If he goes Arcanine, I'll U-turn out into my X-Cloud. Now I know what you're thinking. Jar, why didn't you speed creep a no-speed Arcanine instead of a no-speed Togekiss? And to that I say, fuck you. You play the game, and you battle, alright? So, I go X-Cloud. I can still take any hit that's not a close combat, but he's revealed Toxic Flare Blitz. I'm assuming he also has Morning Sun and Bulldoze for my Infernape. There's no way that he's packing the close combat. I'm gonna Boom Burst to take out his only Infernape switching. Alright? Now, if you have been following along to this point, what the fuck is wrong with you? But you also know my Infernape does not outspeed his max speed Virizion, nor is it even a speed tie. So, but you know what? That's not gonna affect me. I'm gonna continue to bluff. I go in on the Manectric. I'm gonna click close combat, because I get a kill at this point, alright? Now, he goes into his Virizion, trying to bank on a speed tie, but you know me, it's not a speed tie, and I need this thing because it's my only thing left that can take a Thunderbolt. So, I have to go Zapdos, alright? He's Stone Edges, does a shit ton of damage, alright? He predicted me there, I'll give him that one. Zapdos, though, doesn't give a fuck, alright? I'm gonna fire for Heat Wave. I cannot let his Manectric get a special attack boost, as that comes in, does a solid 49%. Okay, so, he goes for a Thunderbolt, no worries at all. I take those, I go down. But now, I have my Infernape, who can take a Thunderbolt still. Pause. I know I can take a Thunderbolt. If he goes into Virizion, he loses. Because I click Close Combat, kill Virizion, he brings his Manectric back in, I go into Sack Greninja, go into Infernape, I can still take a Thunderbolt, and I kill. So that situation is out the drain as a win. So, the speed did not really matter, because if he switched out into his Virizion, and there was never a point in which Virizion could have stayed in on my Infernape, that it could have killed me. So, we're going to go with that. But he has to fire for Thunderbolt, and he has to para me, and I have to get fully paralyzed, because my Greninja outspeeds his Virizion and can kill it. So he goes for T-Bolt, no para, we fire off a Fire Punch because that prep coming through, and in this case, if my set had been what I wanted it to be, I would have had a speed tie. Nope. He fires off a close combat and kills me. He's Life Orb. The more you know, he wasn't scarfed, so switching out cost me some differential. But I go Greninja, we click HP Fire as we stunt on him for the win, and that's going to be a 1-0 for your Toronto Staraptors. Now I know what you're thinking, Jar, it was only a 1-0, you kind of fucking suck. Yeah, you're right, okay? But we beat him, we got a win, and that's all I needed. Did we have team matchup? A little bit, but did we ever did Josh ever really have a chance? Probably, but I felt like towards the end of the game it was just about making the right sacks, no matter the differential, and getting the win. Because as long as I had Infernape and Manectric in, I got a kill every time because he needed to preserve Manectric. So it was about making the right sacks, not preserving differential. So that's my explanation on the game. Go watch Josh, he's an awesome guy. We had a good chat after the game. Go check his video out if you want to see a good battler's side, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!